Shri Ganesha Sharada Gurubhyo Namaha. Uttaram Yat Samudrasya Himadraschaiva Dakshinam Varsham Tad Bharatam Nama Bharati Yatra Santatihi. Welcome to all for this session on Skanda Purana, in which we are now listening to Book 1 Maheshwara Khanda, in which the section 1 called Kedar Khanda, and we are now listening to chapter 1 known as Daksha's Insolence. Obeisance to Sri Ganesha, Om. Obeisance to Lord Vasudeva, Om. After bowing down to Narayana as well as to the sage Nara, the most excellent one among men, and to goddess Saraswati, the goddess of learning, one should narrate the Jaya, which is basically referring to Mahabharata poem, but Mahabharata epic. But here the same thing we assign it to all the Puranas which are narrated by Vedavyasa, who is the author of all the text, like the various texts related to Mahabharata or even to the Puranas. Vyasa said, obeisance to that Lord, the wielder of Pinaka bow, at whose bidding Virinchi means the Brahma creates the universe. Hari mean Vishnu protected, and the god named Kalarudra annihilates it. Therein the Naimisha forest, which is the holiest among all holy places, and sacred most among all the sacred spots in the world, ascetics with Shaunaka as their leader, ascetics who were usual performers of sacrifices and whose minds were always inclined towards holy rites, started a sacrifice of a long duration. The excessively mean highly intelligent disciple of Vyasa, an ascetic of great austerities named Lomasha, came there with an ardent desire to see them. As soon as they saw him coming, all the sages engaged in that sacrifice of long duration stood up simultaneously with great eagerness to receive him. With materials of worship in their hands, after offering him water for washing his feet and presenting him respectfully materials of worship, the sinless sages received him with due hospitality. The sages of exalted nobility then asked him to explain in detail Shiva Dharma, means the pious activities pertaining to Shiva. The sages asked him, recount, O sage of extraordinary intellect, the greatness of the trident bearing Lord of Devas, O exalted one, describe everything along with the modes of meditation and worship. What is the benefit in sweeping the Shiva temple premises? What is the benefit in making mystic diagrams known as rangoli of various colors, in making gifts of mirror and chauris, etc., when it is offered to Shiva? In constructing canopies as well as the fountains in the Shiva temple, what will be the benefit in offering the lambs? What will be the fruit of the worship? What are the meritorious results in worshipping Shiva? Men read and recite the Itihasas and Puranas in front of the idol of Shiva, means the Shivalinga. They study, recite the Vedas in front of him, and make others to do the same. What benefit do those men derive? Let it be mentioned in detail. There is no one else in the world, O sage, more devoted to the narratives about Shiva. On hearing these words of those sages of sanctified souls, the disciple of Vyasa recounted to them the excellent greatness of Shiva. Lomasha said, in all the 18 Puranas, Shiva is sung about as the greatest Lord. Hence, no one is competent to recount the greatness of Shiva adequately. Heaven and liberation from samsara will be attained by those people who repeatedly utter the two syllabled name Shiva, not otherwise. Munificent indeed is Mahadeva, the great God, the Lord of Devas, the supreme ruler. Since everything has been given by him, he is named Sarva. Blessed are they, noble souled are they, who always worship Shiva or the ever auspicious God. A person who wishes to cross the ocean of worldly existence without Sadashiva is indeed foolish and confounded. There is no doubt that he, the hater of Shiva, is a great sinner. It was by him that Hala poison was swallowed. It was swallowed by Shiva, and the Daksha's sacrifice was destroyed by Shiva. Kala, god of death, was burned down, and the king was released. At this point, the sages who were listening to the explanation of Lomasha Sutta, they requested him, we are very eager. Recount unto us how the poison was swallowed by Shiva and how Daksha's yagna was destroyed. Sutta narrated the story to all those rishis. Formerly, at the instance of Brahma Parameshti, Dakshayani, means Daksha's daughter, was given in marriage to noble souled Shankara by Daksha. O Brahmanas, once by chance Daksha came to the Naimisha forest. On arrival, he was duly honored by the sages as well as by all suras and asuras by means of eulogies and obeisances. Mahadeva, who was present there, did not stand up, nor did he offer any reverential salutations to him. Therefore, Daksha became furious and he spoke these words. Everywhere, all the suras and asuras, as well as excellent Brahmanas, repeatedly bow down to me with great eagerness. How is it then that, like a vicious fellow, this noble souled one does not pay obeisance to me now? Accompanied by vampires, goblins, and others, he is means that Shiva is a shameless permanent resident of cremation ground. Heretics, wicked people, and habitual sinners became haughty and arrogant on seeing a Brahmana. Indeed, people like these deserve killing or communication by good people. Hence, I am intent on cursing him. After saying thus, the Daksha of great austerities became angry and spoke to Rudra these words. May these excellent Brahmanas listen to these words of mine. It behoves you all to carry out my words. This Rudra is considered by me as banned out of all yagnas because he has gone beyond the Varnas, that means the Varna system, and has transgressed the discipline of the Varnas. That means because generally a Brahmin is supposed to be respected by all. However, Shiva is far above everybody. He is the he is the Jagat Pita. So it was not necessary. Yet Daksha, being himself a Brahmana, with that greatness feeling that being himself a great Brahmana, everyone, including even Shiva, is supposed to respect him. Nandi, the son of Shilada, became furious on hearing those words. He promptly said to Daksha, who had great refulgence but who uttered that curse. So Nandi told to Daksha, why is my lord Mahesha excluded from Yagnas? Merely by remembering him, all these yagnas become fruitful. Sacrifice, charitable gifts, penance, different kinds of holy spots of pilgrimage, all these become sanctified by his name. Why has he been cursed now? He has been cursed by you foolishly and improperly due to your Brahminical rashness. O evil minded Daksha, it is by the noble souled Sarva that all that this universe is protected. How is it that Rudra has been cursed? O sinful base Brahmana! On being rebuked thus by Nandi, Daksha the Prajapati became furious and he cursed even Nandi too. All of you devoted to Rudra have been completely excluded from the Vedas. You are indeed cursed by the followers of Vedic path and excommunicated by the great sages. You all cling to heretical doctrines. You are out of the pale of refined breeding and good conduct. All these Kapalins you are the followers of the skull cult, are black faced and addicted to drinking liquor. Thus, the servants of Shiva are then cursed by Daksha. Then the infuriated Nandi began to imprecate Daksha. O Brahmana, although we, the servants of Shiva, are good and pious, we have been cursed by you improperly and unnecessarily out of your Brahminical rashness. Now I shall curse you, arguing that there is nothing else. You all adhere to Vedic doctrines, but you will be lustful, desirous of heaven, greedy, and deluded. Keeping the follower of the Vedas in front, Brahmanas will perform sacrifices on behalf of Shudras. They will always be impoverished and greedy of monetary gifts. O Daksha, some Brahmanas will become Brahmarakshasas, means the Brahminical demons. Lomasha continued the story. Those Brahmanas were thus cursed by Nandi, who had become excessively angry. On hearing the words of Nandi, Sadashiva smilingly spoke with sweet, enlightened words. So Mahadeva told to Nandi, it does not behove you to be angry always towards the Brahmanas. These Brahmanas devoted to Vedic doctrines are always our elders and preceptors. The Vedas are full of mantras and of suktas, means the hymns. The Atman of every embodied being is established in the hymn. Hence, those who have realized the Atman should not be censured. I am the Atman myself and no one else, because Shiva resides as an Atma in every living being. Who is this? Who are you? Where am I? Why are the Brahmanas cursed? Avoid the concept of diversity, O highly intelligent one, and become enlightened. Manage everything through the knowledge of reality. Be established in your own self and avoid anger, etc. On being advised and instructed thus by Shambhu, the supreme being Nandi, who is the Shila, the son of great austerities, became aware of the true knowledge and discernment. Closely associating himself with Shiva, he became immersed in the ocean of great bliss. Overwhelmed by anger, Daksha went to his abode accompanied by the sages. He entered his abode still indignant, abandoning his great faith in those who worship Shiva and engaged in censuring him. He became the basest of the men. Reaching that place along with all the great sages, he continued to censure Lord Shiva. He never became calm. Thus complete the chapter 1 of the Kedar Khanda in the Maheshwara Khanda of Skanda Purana. Thus, in this part of the story, we saw the arrogance of Daksha being a Brahmana himself, that he, being the Brahmana, is the greatest among all and need to be respected by all. So he expected even Jagatah Pitara, even Shiva, to respect him, who is the Lord of the entire world. So, because of his Brahminical rashness, he even cursed Shiva to be excluded from all the yagnas, seeing that even Nandi cursed him and cursed all the Brahmanas. Finally, Shiva enlightened Nandi, saying that it is the mistake of one Brahmana by name Daksha. For that, it is wrong to curse all the other Brahmanas, because Brahmanas are the ones who recite Veda, who remember Veda, who digest the knowledge of Veda, and guide the entire world in the right path. So, for the mistake of the rashness of one Brahmana, it is wrong to curse all other Brahmanas. Namaste Sharada Devi Kashmira Puravasini Twamaham Prarthaye Nityam Vidya Danancha Dehime. Goodbye.